welcome back to some more of The Geek Odyssey. I'm your host, Somfan Mythos. And in today's video, we are doing a solo leveling theory. In today's theory, very simple, are the instant dungeons and solo leveling from both the past and future. Now, before we continue, I feel like the need to warn you of some minor spoilers. I don't think there's anything major, and if there is, there'll be a spoiler put on, or if you don't want to see any spoilers, I'll put a spoiler on screen so you know that there's spoilers. Now, some context about solo leveling for those of you who are unaware. It's about Sung Jin Woo. One day, after narrowly surviving the overwhelmingly powerful double dungeon that nearly wipes out his entire party, a mysterious program called The System chooses him as its sole player, and in turn gives him the extremely rare, if not only, ability to level up beyond possibly any known limits. Now, what are dungeons? Because, they go into dungeons. Dungeons are pockets of the Chaos world that are connected to the human world through gates. They are generally contained a horde of monsters, which are led by a boss monster, and will remain open until either the boss monster is killed or the dungeon breaks after a certain amount of time and all those monsters come pouring out. On the other hand, instant dungeons are different, as only Sung Jin Woo has the ability to access them as they come from the system. The system was created by the architect from the memories of Ashbourne, the Shadow Monarch. The first instant dungeon he enters is in episode 3 or 4 in the anime, but chapter 13 to 15 in the manga. I haven't read the web novel yet, so I am unsure. But there are other times, most notably chapter 37 onwards in the manga, I believe to 42, where he has his job change quest, and chapter 57 to 61, where he goes back on a massive leveling up spree and fights demons, and then chapter 80 to 88, which is where he completes that instant dungeon, which is this tower-based demon. And that, I believe, is where it's confirmed that that is the place he thought, because it looks like a certain place but set on fire. But I'm not sure if that happens in this chapter or much later. But either way, it is confirmed that that's based off what had happened, which that's just for this instant dungeon. But every other instant dungeon could possibly be like that, and that's my theory. Now, it is unknown whether if it's a place in a normal dungeon or a place visited from Ashbourne or a mix of both. The very first instant dungeon he enters, but it's probably a mix of both. Now, the main theory. This theory came about when I was recently rereading the solo leveling manga. As we mentioned, Sung Jin Woo enters his first instant dungeon in chapter 13 of the manga, and as you can see, it's the exact same station that he opened it at, but it's all disheveled and destroyed. So Hero goes to a station, opens this dungeon, and that dungeon is the exact same as the station, just disheveled, run down, and destroyed. This shows a link between the instant dungeon and the real world, as other dungeons, normal dungeons, is not based off real world and has its own ecosystem, if you will. Normally caves or stuff like that, and only red dungeons providing actual other aspects. Jinwoo has to climb a tower in the other chapters, and he realizes, I believe it looks like Seoul, but on fire. It's later confirmed that this is based off the past, when Earth was destroyed by the monarchs before the rulers used the Cup of Reincarnation in a repeating cycle. This indicates that there's a possibility that all instant dungeons being the same. They are all both the past and possible future being shown to Sung Jin Woo, so he can make his mind up. They're showing him what has happened and what will happen if he doesn't make a choice. Now, there aren't many counter arguments. There are some that, this is already basically confirmed, or this is just a coincidence, but really, it's implicated quite a lot. Now, what this implicates to Sung Jin Woo and to us, the readers, is the monarchs have beat the rulers and destroyed Earth time and time and time again. And this time, the only difference is Sung Jin Woo. So he needs to get stronger. And we know this by the system constantly giving him quests to get stronger, constantly pushing him to be stronger, because the system knows he needs to be the strongest. He needs to be stronger to change that fate, if he so chooses. he needs to decide if he's on the Monarch's or Ruler's side. So it has pretty big implications in the fact that this is not just some leveling thing. This is telling him, if you don't choose the Ruler side, this is what will happen. If you choose the Monarch side, this is what will happen. I think this is one of the most clear-cut theories out there. Because while it's been confirmed that that dungeon was based off that, we don't know about the CL1 or any potential other instant dungeons he could have got. But I think it's strongly implied that that is the case, that these are the past and future. Obviously, if you have your own interpretations, let me know, but I don't think you will have too much. And before we end this, I would like to say a brief thing. We have some theories coming out that I think you'd be interested in. There's 2 Jujutsu Kaisen theories. There's one Percy Jackson theory based off the books, and then there's the review of the series. I'll rewatch the series because I've already watched it once with my mum. I'll rewatch that. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Sorry about that little ramble at the end and the forgetting. But if you guys did enjoy, please check out any other theories, especially some of the ones I've done on Percy Jackson in the past. There should be a link in the description below or shown in the cards above. Be sure to leave a comment if you agree or disagree. What's your thoughts on this topic? And have you got any more theories about solo leveling that you want to talk about?